nice guys and gals really finish last? Do you have to be rude to be successful in business? Is that the only way to get what you want in a deal? Well, I am SuzetteSpeaks, a TV host and attorney here in Miami, with tonight's dynamic panel of a duo who recently wrote a book about incivility. Now, we're not going to use that term. Some people call it rudeness. Let's just say shortness, overzealousness. You know, those people that you deal with in business that say the snide remark or maybe are overly aggressive, the type that make you want to take back your money and sit on back down. Well, is that a necessary part of being successful in a business? Or are you more successful the more civil you are? Now, we're going to have disagreements, of course, in business. I know myself as an attorney, along with these two lovely lady lawyers, have seen it all. We've seen clients who get along. We've seen clients who are going to probably, as soon as they step out of the courthouse, be at one another's throats. We've seen fellow attorneys act that way. And do attorneys get a bad rap? Yes, I'm not going to say all of us, but, several, in my experience, have lived up to that terrible reputation. But I really want to ask the ladies who have dropped a book. Actually, their launch is this Friday. Yay. They're kind of giving us a sneak peek as to what they've written about. But they're going to take us through why the world has become more incivil or uncivil, and why it does not pay to conduct yourself that way in business. Now, again, we're going to talk with them. They are the experts. They have recently launched a book. I'm going to drop their new channel as well. They made a channel to go along with the book. They're giving us a sneak peek tonight in terms of what they've learned across all professions. Yes, we're all lady lawyers, but all the lessons that they write about can be applied no matter what area of business and professionalism you wish to apply them to. But what we want to get down to tonight and drill down on is why people conduct themselves the way they do in business. And if you are one of those people, calling you out, that sometimes shows people, a short-temperedness. Island folks would say a bad face. Folks would say, rudeness. Let's just cut to the chase. Why do you do it? Is it your way of getting your point across? Is it your way of trying to feel as if you're in control of a business deal? Or is it your way of expressing yourself during a disagreement? Well, we're going to discuss this with two amazing lady lawyers, also from Miami. This is how we do. And their new YouTube channel, I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. Civility Wins is a brand new YouTube channel, y'all. And I want them to share more about why they're doing this, what caused them to get on this journey. And I want you guys to answer, or maybe come up later, why do people act harshly or sometimes rudely? I'm going to ask them to think of the right adverb because I see it so much. Sometimes I become immune to it, but I try to conduct myself as much as I can because people do press your buttons, y'all, in a way that is going to give my client and my business the best outcome. And oftentimes we don't think about the client. We don't think about the long-term effect of what you've said and how you've conducted yourself. But we're going to get to the root of this, y'all. I'm going to bring up Miss Kristen Goss, as well as, her, Sandy B. Law. They are the co-authors today. I'm going to say, check out their channel. I'm in the chat. Let me say hello to my people and bring them up. And we're going to talk. Do nice guys and gals finish last? Do you got to be rude to get ahead? And again, I'll go back and add some more in the description, y'all. Thank you so much, Ara, my moderator extraordinaire, one of my fantastic moderators in the building. I really appreciate you. Okay, Ross L, first-time viewer from thank you so much. I appreciate you. New York in the building, facts and the uncomfortable truth with Bernard Wagwan. So happy to see you. We work hard in these streets, and I know part of the management of one's emotions is to be able to do business non-emotionally without being petty. I think is another term a lot of people would use to characterize what we're going to talk about today. We are going to explore more and more, even when it comes to, let's say, personal relationships, We've seen a lot with Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey and who said what, where. We don't know those people. And maybe there's something to be gained by saying less instead of putting the other person out there. Anyway, we're going to get into it all, whether you're coming from the speakers channel, whether you're coming from the Civility Wins channel. If you're watching on Facebook, big up yourself. I simulcast on all platforms, and I want to welcome these beautiful ladies to come and chat with me today. Y'all give it up for none other than Miss Sandy B. Law and her co-author, Miss Kristen Goss. Hey, guys.
Hey there, everybody.
Hey,
Excited
guys.
Hey, I'm excited to have both of you. Welcome. Kristen, your first time on the SuzetteSpeaks show. Again, we do some legal topics. We do some fun topics. I think tonight will be a very interesting topic for anyone in business, anyone who does business, anything you have to purchase where you have to go outside your house and talk to someone. You know, when you're conducting business, there are often different temperaments among both the which I say the professional and the person purchasing whatever good or service is going on. But I see this a lot, and I'm glad you guys decided to write about it, and I want to know why. So first of all, tell us about yourself and welcome. We'll start with you, Sandy B.
All right. Hi, guys. Glad to be back again. I always love being here on SuzetteSpeaks show. I am Sandy B. Law. I'm a Florida estate planning attorney. I'm also an auntie, an advocate, and I'm the co-author of Civility Wins, Find Your Peace While Taming the Beast. So thank you so much, Suzette, for allowing us to come on today. Suzette, you're muted.
I'm sorry, muted. I said I like that. Find your peace while taming the beast. Yes, I love it. And Kristen, welcome.
Thank you so much, Suzette, for having us. I'm Kristen Goss, everyone, and I am co-author of Civility Wins, Find Your Peace While Taming the Beast. I am also a managing partner of KWG Family Legal and Mediation Services. I am a mother of 3 and a wife, and just so excited to be here to talk about Civility Wins.
Awesome. All right. So again, coming from different backgrounds, we all happen to be attorneys, but don't let it fool you. Everybody has to deal with business on a daily basis. Thank you so much. They're saying welcome. Yes, Ross L., I appreciate you. He says DL recommended you. I replayed and watched the Black Nerd show. Thank you. The Secret Lives of Black Nerds. Go back and watch it. RM, if you can find those, go ahead and drop the links in the chat so people can watch it, as well as the hypergamy, the truth about hypergamy. So we talk a little bit of relationships. Thank you, Ross L. We talk what do I say? Self-improvement, self-growth. We talk hot topics. And like tonight, we're talking business. We're talking a little bit more about how to improve oneself in their mindset. So civility wins. So what, first of all, define civility for me? I tried my best, but you guys go ahead.
So what I could say about civility is just considering, your behavior when it comes to your interactions with others and being mindful, but also being tempered in your behaviors, because we can't just blow our top at every little thing that happens. But at the same token, we can still be firm and get our point across. So that's what I would describe as civility.
Okay. And you, Kristen?
I would say do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That
if it was all so simple, like it sounds so simple. And then when I see people, like it changes your day when you start, dealing with some of these folks and you're like, oh my gosh, did I deserve that rudeness just now? Or was that unprovoked because you're going through something else? Right. So there's so much of it. So why now? Why this book for you guys?
This is a long time coming. I think Sandy and I started writing in 2017.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
It came
so whose idea was it? Or like, how did that come about?
It seemed like a mutual thought. I don't know what was happening, but we were dealing with a series of issues together in cases. Okay. And I don't know how we got to this writing a book, but it probably just came out as a blurt. And it was just like one day we're like, okay, we just need to do this because we need to share these things with other people. And I think it was the best thing because it allowed us both to get rid of some thoughts about things. And we even changed the title because it was supposed to be something else, which we'll talk about during our launch. But we took something that was some very negative experiences and took it and made it into an educational thing that we can share with others, not just attorneys, but anybody who might be dealing with some of the similar experiences that we've had.
Okay, that sounds pretty heavy. And shout out to ladies who collaborate together, even if it takes a long time. I'm one of those people. I love cooperative and collaborative opportunities when it comes to others. Everybody don't work well together. So for y'all to still be friends after writing a book together since 2017, that says a lot of civility. Hello, was taking place because there has to be disagreements. There have to be I won't say points of contention, but just ways in which you want to express yourself and want each other has, different viewpoints. So I think, again, we can talk about how civility can be applied to marriages, but we're going to talk about it first and foremost when it comes to the professional setting. Tell me what y'all was going through. You said you had a lot of run-ins with people and y'all was looking around like, are we the only ones that live on this planet and the other people are living in a parallel universe? In terms of like what was going on, or tell me some examples of what you were seeing or see now.
Just pure rudeness. For example, people just not being nice, not knowing how to talk that they talk at you, not to you. Like you said earlier, you can have disagreements, but there's a way to go about it. And just seeing a lot of that, I would say immaturity going on, allowing your emotions to be the best of you. My mom used to always say, know how to pick and choose your battles. And you don't have to say everything that's on your mind. And just going through experiences where people would just have no filter. Wow. And Sandy and I looking at each other like, is this for real? But
now, did you guys work at the same firm? Were you guys like at different firms at the time? What was that like? This is like your beginning of your legal career.
I think for me, it was the early time. Kristen started probably a few years before me, I think, right, Kristen?
Okay, cool. So she had been practicing a little longer. Okay, cool. And Did you see the same things? Was this happening in the courthouse while you guys were at hearings or at trial or what?
So there were a series, I would say, of 3 cases going on at once that I actually reached out to Sandy to help with because I typically don't deal with probate, guardianship, any of those issues, and Sandy does.
Is that her? She's been over here talking Chadwick Boseman estate and other things. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So you reached out to her for some help.
Yes. So we were co-counseling on several matters, and that's how it started. We were up against. We felt like we were up against the wall, honestly. And
so co-counsel means you handled cases together. You both put your name on the paperwork and work the case together. So that happens a lot. I co-counsel a lot, especially when it comes to areas that I am not proficient in or I don't practice every day. So if I have a new type of case where the other person, like she said, Sandy was the expert when it came to probate, right? She was like, wait a minute, I need some help. I don't have time to go do all this research and figure it out for myself. Why not join forces? So I recently did that on a case that was out of my norm. So you guys started talking and sharing war stories. So tell me, Sandy B, what were some of these stories like? What were you guys, and even now, because like I said, every lawyer is not like this, but I have found the same thing happens less so now because we're not, I still go to court, but not as much.
Right.
But when I was in court all the time, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to see you the next day. Why are you rude? Because now I got to see you in line tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, talk about some of your experiences, or if you want to tell any stories that you have seen or that really kind of like stuck with you when it comes to incivility.
So, I mean, I would say the general consensus was there were a lot of conversations that Kristen and I would have about things that would happen to us. And I would call Kristen up and be like, listen to what this attorney just said to me, or listen to what this client just said to me. And Kristen would be like, and we would talk about, the ways to respond, because sometimes we would get messages, both of us would get messages from somebody, whether it be a client or another attorney or some other party. And it's just like disrespect from the jump. it's one of those per my email, or,
Oh,
it's like the
Jesus.
professional clapback stuff, but without the professionalism. You might as well eliminate that, and it's just straight clapback. And it's kind of like we would start to think, and it's like, I can't respond in the same kind, right? So I have
Mhm.
to be mindful, because the record that you create in your emails can be used in court. And a
Right.
lot of us don't think about that. We just get to type in. And I remember so many instances, Kristen and I would be laughing at different situations, because I would hear Kristen on the other end typing. I'm like, Kristen, why are you typing? It's 9 o'clock at night. Why are you typing? And she's like, oh, I'm about to, she's typing. I'm like, Kristen, please remember. Or she'll tell me, Sandy, you don't have to say those things. You might want to change the wording around a little bit. So a lot of it was us talking to each other through different experiences, rude messages, disrespectful things. One of the cases in particular, I said to Kristen, I was like, I know you're going to get a nasty response from this person, because I know who they are. And Kristen was like, well, let me just try to, send a message. And Kristen sent the message, and what came back was like pure trash. It was pure trash. And I was like, Kristen's word was like, hey, just wanted to let you know, and blah, blah. And the response was like, I don't care. That's not my problem, blah, blah. And it was just like,
Well, let
why?
me throw a hat. Let me put a story in the hat, because this one, it was two people in real estate matters that I remember quite vividly. One sounded like an older white guy, just based on his voice. I did not see him, but I could tell. And he wanted me to. It was in litigation, and he wanted to settle, and I did not have authority for my client to settle. Like, no, they're not going to admit anything right now. What are you talking about? And he was so rude, yelling on the phone, we're pushing spaghetti around the plate, ma'am. I want to be done with it. Don't you want to be done with it? And I was like, first of all, who are you talking to? But when you're a very young attorney, you're kind of like, I didn't want to be reported to my like partner. I didn't want to be reported to the bar. I was like, I stayed quiet. I didn't respond. And I remember, I don't know who passed my desk, if it was a paralegal or somebody, and they could hear him through the phone. And I was really like, okay, sir. Okay. They were like, why is she just saying that? I kept just saying, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And he's just like, thank you, what? Are we done with this? I need your paper back by this time. And I said, thank you. Like, I was so on replay with my response that I was just like, no, you're not going to get me to say anything crazy. That's why sometimes a conversation is better than email, because it's hard to prove what you say by phone. Hint, hint. But again, I'm just going to put this up here because I always do my little disclaimer. But again, we're talking in general, guys, about people being rude in business. And if nice guys really do finish last as to why they do what people do in these kind of scenarios. Now we're talking law because we all happen to be attorneys, but this can apply in any realm of business. But if you have a specific legal issue, we're not giving any legal advice tonight. We're talking about a book launch. So this is for educational entertainment purposes. If you want actual legal advice, you must call a lawyer directly in the jurisdiction where you live. All right. So hit the like button, y'all. I see so many more people here than likes. Hit the like button. We got two lady lawyers who wrote a book called, say it again, Sandy, for me, please.
Civility Wins. Find your peace while taming the beast.
Okay, so you came to the conclusion that civility does win, and we're going to ask you kind of to expound upon the title and why you think it does win, because again, I can tell you, and I'm sure the chat is lighting up. I see you, Links. Nice to have you, brother. Good to see you, Doug. And everyone else who's watching Team Replay, hit the like button. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you showing love to the channel. So the question becomes, okay, if you're saying civility does win, like I was telling you about this other story where a counsel who had, again, picked up a case he was not used to. He didn't practice the area of law. So he was basically asking me, called me in a nice way at first, asking me what his next move should be. Bruh, I'm not here to tell you what your next move should be. I'm not rude about it, but I was just kind of like, I'm not going to tell you what motion to file. And he was really like, so where would I go from here? And he was trying to make it seem like it was a conversation, but I was like, you need to ask somebody at your firm where you go from here, sir. I'm not going to give you that. And then I'm telling, like, it was like a 0 to 100 moment where he just started, I mean, wilding out is not the right term. We need to help each other in this profession. If the shoe was on the other foot, I would have helped you. You're gonna keep it from me. I was like, as if I'm your paid counsel. You went to law school too. There has to be
Wow.
someone else that you can ask in your network, not opposing counsel, not the attorney on the other side, to give you the information in the game. So instead of him doing his homework or asking his network, he expected me to give him the play. So it was the weirdest. I just remember being on the phone like, why are you yelling at me? And why did you think that was appropriate for you to ask me what motion or what next move you should make, what you should file? It's
Right.
up to you to be the attorney because I don't represent your client. I represent my client. It was the oddest thing. So yeah, I have so many stories like that. Ladies, feel free to chime in. Link says, be nice. We'll get you run over. So he's saying, let me go. Let me give you some reality check on this. Being nice will get you run over. I'm kind, and that has its limits. So what do you guys say when Link says, you got to be pushy? We're living a very, I don't know, high stress society, a deceptive society, some would say, when it comes to business practices and people promising you one thing and then not giving it to you.
Mhm.
So what do you guys think when someone says, you got to do what you have to do to get the outcome no matter what? How would you respond to Links?
I would say
Mm.
be diplomatic. You
Be
know,
diplomatic.
I can give you an example. So one of the scenarios that we dealt with was a threat. I'm sure all of us can relate to that. The threats that have no weight, but it's just a threat because I guess they
Mm,
feel like if I threaten you, you're going to back down. But
right.
if you're confident and you know that you have a basis for whatever it is that you're arguing and you're advocating for your client about,
Yeah.
then there shouldn't be a reason for you to back down. You're doing
Mm.
what you're supposed to do. And plenty of times it's happened where, the threat just goes nowhere because when you stand your ground,
Give me an
they know
example
that.
because I feel what you're saying, but give me an example.
So I've had a couple of times where someone has threatened motion for sanctions
Against you.
because against me. But one scenario was they didn't do it correctly.
The
So it was
motion.
what the motion. So what it was an email sent to me saying, I've been practicing for 35 plus years and I've never had something like this being filed, and you need to withdraw your motion. And if you don't withdraw your motion, then I'm going to sanction you.
No,
Or,
you're not. No, you're not.
exactly,
No, you're not.
exactly.
Mm-mm.
So my response to that, no response.
But people, what I don't know. I think the intimidation factor they feel is going to, as you said, cause you to second guess yourself or back
Yeah.
down or do what they say. But I'd be like, playa, no,
Yeah.
that's not like. But again, maybe for another attorney or for a lady lawyer, let's say it, they may feel like it is a form of, and the word bullying is probably too strong, but intimidation is probably more accurate. Where I guess women can do it too.
True.
But thinking about the scenarios, I've always had it done by men. I don't recall. Not to say it can't happen that way. I'm trying to think if have I ever had a woman kind of come at me sideways one time in a mediation.
Gotcha.
Oh, I wanted to punch her in the face. I didn't, but like, deep down. Oh, her client was running really late. And per mediation rules, if you're not there on time, we can cancel it
Right.
and reschedule. And I was trying to get the mediator to, I'm like, no, past the 15 minutes is crazy. And I did that because it was really what she was saying and how she had approached me when she walked in was rude. And I was like, oh, okay, we're going to play like that. I'm ready to go. But then she realized her client was going to be late. And then all of a sudden it was like, Guy, where are you from? Oh my God, I love Jamaica. Oh my God. It's just like, who would want to be on a beach right now? Blah, blah. And this kind of fake. And the mediator was going, I should have canceled the mediation. The mediator was going along with it. Like, you can stay. I'm like, I can't stay. I got other clients to tend to. And it was really the flip of the switch of the fakeness. I wanted to vomit a little bit in the back of my throat because it was just so fake and random and so it was disrespectful. And that's what it was. And then when she realized her client was going to be in the wrong and that she would have to get, everybody to come back and do it all over again, pay for the mediator, because you're going to pay for it, babe, because you're a no-show, basically. So I've had that happen with women. I'm not going to say it's only been male, mostly male, but yeah, I've had women try me where I'm like, man, and I think I did stay for it. I was angry. I was mad that I was being coaxed to stay. And I was young enough in the profession where I was kind of like, don't be that girl. But you've been that woman coming at me sideways. But yeah, I think I did stay and do it. And I was so mad that afterwards I was like, I should have left. But I didn't want to answer rudeness with rudeness, even though that's exactly what she deserved. You understand? But yeah, it happens. They're I'm sure, and just regular, and we'll take it out of the law a little bit because everybody be like, okay, that's what y'all go through. But the sanctions, I can see that, guys. If you don't know what that motion is, it's basically the court saying that some way, somehow you did something against the local rules or the state rules that somehow put you in a violation of the court and that you got to pay for it.
Right.
So this is like a threat that people will sometimes, like, if you're trying to stall a case or they think you did something crazy in your motion and lied or something like this, they'll try to kind of get it stricken and get you to have to pay. But yeah, being used as a threat is a whole nother level of just, I don't know if the word is douchebaggery. I don't know what to call it. Sandy, so when it comes to like being run over though, do we have to turn up the heat? Do we have to say it in a kind of don't mess with me way? Or what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, first of all, my thoughts about this concept of civility, nice is one thing, but actually speaking up for yourself is a whole nother thing. I think that you can approach situations with a level of temperament that is balanced, right? But there are going to be some situations that you're going to have to say what you have to say. I just think that sometimes, especially right now, we don't have any kind of measure as to where we are when we're saying certain things. So I think we have to be kind of balanced in the way that we approach situations, and we have to pick our battles. Because one of the things that I started to notice early on in practice was that I was really responding to things that I had no business responding to. Because if I'm settled in my position and you have an opposite position, that's to be heard in court. Right. But I was finding myself in these little tit for tat arguments by email.
You're wrong. No, let the judge say it. Come out my email. Waste of time, people. Why waste of time? Yeah. And they want to tell you. And basically, again, it's another tactic to make you second guess and to make you think, oh, did I get this argument wrong? Should I withdraw this motion? No, I'm not withdrawing anything. Let's respond to some people in the chat. I see you guys. Welcome. If you're just joining, hit the like. What's up? How are you, Andrew? I'll reverse, go backwards. Nice to see you, Andrew, from New York in the building. You had such an interesting primary election yesterday. So did we in Florida. Oh, yes. I see, Andrew, we might have to talk a little bit about who won and why. Very interesting if you guys followed how it happened. Sandy W says, yeah, you were nice as Suzette speaks. No one has time for that kind of disingenuous. Y'all would have left. I should have left. I was heated. I was so heated. The woman disrespect me. And then when she realized, she's like, oh, you suck. You suck as a human being, lady, but I'm not going to let I could have put it there, but I was like, God, let me stop. Because again, my soul, I want to sleep at night with myself, but the rudeness is serious. Nelson Counseling, how you been, brother? It's been a minute. Good to see you. Fantastic YouTuber over here visiting us. No comment, no question, just love. I appreciate you. RM, would you mind please dropping Nelson Counseling's channel, or you can do it, brother. Thank you so much. Talks mental health of all kinds on his channel, and he's been over here visiting and did a great show with me as well. But thank you so much for showing the love and supporting the stream. But yes, let's see. Ras L says, and adding on to be diplomatic is confidence is setting boundaries. And adding on to being diplomatic is confidence in setting boundaries. Absolutely. Don't let people run you over. That's a whole nother, we don't let people run us over. And then I get that a lot, Sandy. People think I'm like nice. And I'm like, don't let the pearls fool you. You try me. We got to take it up a notch. We're going to take it up. If you want to go there, we got to be able to go there. And it's, again, not personal, but I'm gonna protect mine. I'm gonna protect my clients. I'm not. No, we can't play. Just ruthless, because some people want to play a zero-sum game, and that's not what we. Again, why?
Yeah.
Why are you taking it to the edge? I'm thinking about other scenarios in law practice where I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. And I went off on this one dude, not terribly. Whatever he filed was wrong. I want to say it was emotion. And I was just like, I know you're not coming here with attitude today. I can skewer you, but I'm not going to. And I don't want to say his name. I almost want to say his first name because I said his first name. So you would say Charles. I could do Charles. Today I'm not going to do this. This is that. You can resubmit it.
Not today.
Trust. It can't go far. But I don't understand why people go that. Antoine says women, going in the relationships direction.
Oh boy.
Women claim they're like nice guys. But let's be honest, who wants to claim they want a bad boy? That's part of civility. That's like saying a general man, or I guess everyday man, claiming that he wants a fat woman. Y'all come on now.
Oh no.
Civility, y'all want to go here. Okay. Chat stays undefeated for this reason.
I love
Nelson
it.
again, salute, brother. Y'all check out Nelson Counseling. Tonight's topic is, do nice people, nice guys, as the saying goes, finish last? Why are people so am I saying uncivil? Incivility and uncivil towards each other. So why is it that when you are in under pressure, maybe, I don't know if it's just people's personalities and personality defects, or I've seen nice people in other scenarios go off or turn a corner where I'm like, ouch, whoa, who is that? I got to look out for you next time I'm here in case I say something. What do you think triggers this? Do you think this is like personality types?
Well, we're in the age of supporting bad behavior. You got to think about reality television and how that's developed and undeveloped over time. You got to think about World Star and all these, videos we see on social media, people fighting and carrying on and cussing people out. We're in that age. And so it's only natural that it trickles into all of our everyday lives. So you can't have an interaction with somebody anymore where something happens by mistake, where somebody just says, oh, okay, or you could say my bad or whatever. It's more like, oh, now we have to get the blows. We have to get the cussing and carrying on and all. And I'm like, how did we get to this place where we can't even have conversations anymore? Things can't just be, what they are. Or you
show grace. I didn't bring enough copies of the order, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay. I'll can I mail it? Okay, yes, you can mail it. Not the, you know what to do, counselor. Like, talk about incivility. Some of these judges.
Look, a couple of them were taken off the bench, thankfully. Yes.
Election is an election. When I saw a couple people, I was like, oh, God.
Oh, yes.
No, I don't want to say it like that, but I was like, oh, my God. They're rude.
I have one on the tip of my tongue right now, and I'm like, thank God.
Leave it alone.
I'm just going to leave it. Civility. It wins every time.
Sorry, put a bow on that. Sorry. But yeah, the elections speak volumes, though, because people don't get to sit on benches that are acting crazy towards the attorneys and then to the people. But anyway, Nelson Counseling, again, salute you, brother. Let me see. DeSantis, listen, this is not a political debate.
Oh, not Doug with DeSantis.
Doug know how to shuffle them cards. Hey, William, nice to see you. Big up yourself. Glad you're here. Cool beans. Let me see. Sandy W says, I like nice people in general, but a nice man with home training is my ministry for sure. Hello, somebody. And who made the comment? I hear you. Sometimes nice guys do get looked over, and it's kind of, Antoine said, like, oh, y'all be lying. Y'all like the incivil and the rude treatment. And again, there are deeper issues, I think, when we see those, kind of patterns. But a good, solid, even-tempered person is just a pleasure to be around. And so you guys use the word win. Civility wins. Why is that, even though we are living in a culture, and I'll let you answer that too, Kristen, when it comes to, okay, so Sandy B said the culture has become a wild and crazy culture of show your behind, get rewarded for it with more social media shares. And so we can't help but see it in a professional setting as well, where people are kind of even maybe subconsciously taking on this type of like no holds barred. I want to be right and I want to come at you and embarrass you or cut you, say something slick to you, just to show I'm smart or I'm better, or to get the crowd going, wherever the crowd is, right? It could be at the T-Mobile store, it can be wherever else. But why do you think people started, or have in a, I guess, more frequent way demonstrated this type of behavior?
The last 2.5 years have been extremely challenging, more so than normal.
Yeah.
So I definitely believe that plays a role. Like
people
Sandra
stressed
said,
out, basically. Yes.
People are stressed out. Our society in general is very fast paced. You don't have time to really relax and take a deep breath.
Absolutely.
And so people are on level 10 as it is. And
just because the gas price, just because they can.
Yeah, there you go.
Just because,
go.
And so when you meet them in these forums that are also law, in the courtroom, and places that are uncomfortable and high stakes, and you don't know what's going to happen with your kids or whatever, it can be, y'all hit the like button. We do work here. Thank you so much. Welcome. Andrew says, thank you for the super chat, brother. He says, personality reigns supreme. I love women. Okay. A dream woman is not always the best woman. Oh, we collectively neglect or pass over each other. 100%. But many times Andrew, we consider that a swear word where I'm from, but many times these get an edge at times. Yeah, because sometimes, okay, that's where I was going with my next point. Thank you, Andrew. Because we say Civility wins. That's the title of the new book. I hope you guys go check out their book when they have Amazon up. I'm going to put it in the description because the book comes out this Friday. They have a book launch here in Miami, and we're talking about, what they've seen over their careers, not only in law, but in life. And we're talking about if it pays to be rude, right? That's the bottom line. Do nice people finish last? And Andrew's here talking about personalities, and I was asking, like, is this because those people that you met, they're like, okay, they're just a bit off. I'm not gonna fix that. Only Jesus can fix that, right? Yeah. But then I've seen, like, what I would consider normal everyday people sometimes press that button, or maybe their button is pressed. And they're like, boop, and you go to a level where you're like, wow, I can't believe they just said that. I hate to see it in court, guys. I don't know if you want to share any anecdotes about that, where it's not necessarily me and an attorney, but other people, I'm like, oh God, they could just sit down right now, because they don't know how they sound, and whatever's going on in their office, at home, or wherever else is coming out. And I believe that, sometimes we are not all made to compartmentalize. Some people are better at it than others. Right. So, but yeah, back to Andrew's point. So we're talking in civility, being uncivil, going into business as like a hothead or just a rude person, elbowing, pushing your way, and why that doesn't pay. And but I agree with Andrew's point that sometimes it does seem like these people who are knuckleheads, who are pushy, is the light way, intimidating is a deeper way, bullying is another degree, and even kind of just downright darn rude, seeming to get on top. How can you guys explain the idea behind the title versus this thinking, where it was like, sometimes you look around and you're like, dang, those people who are robbing, stealing, and doing all kinds of stuff are winning in life? How would you respond to Andrew's comment?
I would say at the core, what we've seen is that civility wins no matter what happens. We were backed against the wall in our trifecta of cases, and in many other instances. But as we watched and saw how things played out, it became very clear that even though there were some minor things that really didn't go our way, or even major things that didn't go our way, when we ended all, civility won. Like, we didn't have to resort to certain tactics. We didn't have to resort to certain behaviors, because those things only hurt us. They don't hurt the other person, because if that other person has a personality trait, like Andrew just said, that is of mean spirit, mean mugging, all that. Right. If they have that personality trait, you're not going to change that by giving them back what they're giving you. Absolutely. The only thing you can do is maintain your peace, because at the end of all days, you're going to allow that person to impact your energy. And guess what? They're going to leave you with that negative energy and keep on going with their day, because that's what they're used to.
Oh my gosh.
That's
I
not what my
hate
spirit
that.
is used to. I'm
Yeah,
not
when
used to that stuff.
that rude comment sticks with you, and I'm like, I can't stop thinking about this guy. I want it to leave me alone right now, but it can't leave me alone because it hit a deeper place in your spirit, in your mindset. How about you, Kristen? When it comes to, do the mean people end up winning? And it seems like sometimes they get an edge at times. How would you respond to that?
Absolutely not. I definitely agree that civility wins, hence the book or the name of the book. But I will go a little bit deeper and say that even if at the time it seems like they are progressing or they're winning by being rude, eventually it's going to catch up with you. And it's something that I have to really internalize within myself, that, like Sandy said, it's not me.
Right.
It's something that's going on with them.
Right.
And if I continue to keep that mindset, just move on, then I continue to be in peace with it. But I find oftentimes that it'll transpire for a while, but at the very end, it does not get them to what it
where they
doesn't
think
get
it's
them what
gonna
they want.
lead them.
Exactly.
Because
It doesn't.
eventually they need that person. Or you like, my mom is always like, I guess it's a common saying of like, whoever you pass on the way up is who you're gonna pass on the way down. So when you are treating people, any kind of way, or saying things that are off-putting, those people get picked last for team sports. Those people get picked last for, the network. When people put people on, you're not the first person that they're going to put on, and things like this. So I think even though it may seem like a win, Andrew, short term, long term, it's like that reputation kills them. Again, they probably don't care because they feel like, dollars by any means. But eventually it's kind of like, something within, that circle, or I think it catches up with them eventually, because you need people, is what this life has taught me. You need people. So to make $1, I need a person. And whether that's every job I've ever had in the past came via someone telling me or hooking me up, or I interviewed, but I knew somebody that worked most of the places I've worked before. Like, that's America. Like, people don't tell you that. People, you may have different experiences than I have had, but the network you have is so important to your success, and how fast our business grows. But what I realize is when people are like that, they need a new network like every week, right? They need almost like a new victim every week, because they can't go back to where they've eaten and really disrespected while they're eating. And I've seen that a lot. I think people like, okay, there's enough 330 million people in America. I'll just go through as many as I can. But at some point, whether it's life, whether it's business, whether it's age, whatever it is, it catches up to you. And when you return to those same people that seem like nothing to you, that you can just, step on, step over, and say whatever to, I want to pivot and ask you guys about it in relationships, since the chat seems to be very interested in relationships when it comes to civility. Having been, Miss Kristen, I'm going to go over to you. Having been married, or are married, got your kids and all that. Let me ask you, let me put you at the top. What role does civility play when dealing with your husband and your kids?
It plays a huge role. I would say, gosh, we have grown so much. We've been married for over 14 years.
Awesome.
I was a baby when I got married. I was 23, and we both had a lot of learning to do, a lot of growing, because we were young. And I would say a lot of grace comes with it, a lot of understanding, a lot of communicating. And there are times where you're not going to want to talk. And I had to learn, because I like to get it off my chest. I like to get things.
Gotta say it, ladies.
Right now.
Yes.
He's the complete opposite. He really could not say it at all. But we had to learn to compromise over the years. So while we might not address something right then and there, we eventually come back to the table and discuss it and talk about it. And then especially when you add children on top of that, finding time for yourself, finding time for each other. It can be challenging, but I liked what you said earlier, Suzette, and someone else mentioned boundaries. I think that that's key. And that is something that I'm learning each and every day and getting better at, because if you set healthy boundaries, then that goes a long way in relationships and maintaining your peace and remaining civil to each other.
Absolutely. So boundaries, certain things, ladies and gents, have to be off limits, right? Certain things that we say and how we say it. I think, especially growing up in a more, what should I say, traditional household where the communication was not always as, what should I say, between my parents. They needed coaching, honestly. If it was now, they would have got coaching. People just said whatever they want to say towards their husband and towards their wife. It was like, and then you went to bed together. I'm like, lot of mercy. Those things can't fly. No, you have to be very careful and conscientious of the person, and the long-term result of, how you've made them feel. And again, imagine how one rude interaction at the supermarket makes you feel. And so imagine coming from a person that you love and are committed to, how rudeness and all that stuff. I'm just like, how can people be so rude? I've seen it in couples, though. I've seen them come back from it where they were like, in almost like, I went to brunch one time with a couple that was like cracking on each other. And I was just like, I really don't want to be the third wheel here. This is weird.
Wow.
And it was really like, I don't know what had happened. And I was like, y'all need to go talk about, why did y'all invite me here? Why don't you go talk about what you really want to talk about? And then I can come back when you guys are like cool and chilling. Like, it was really odd. But everybody is not a great communicator. And I think that's okay to admit. I think just like Kristen said, you got to take classes sometimes. You got to get coaching on communication sometimes, especially if you didn't grow up with it, or you've only seen the opposite, which is the aggressive, which is the cut them low before they cut you. And, just a rude technique to get people to comply with behavior. And that is so immature. But a lot of people, I'm talking about in a big age, don't know how to get people to hear their side or convince people of their, argument without cutting them, what we call here sign language, without the shaming and the insults and the guilt and the need to be right. So I think it's very important what you just said. We don't want to gloss over that, the communication piece. Some people just don't know how to communicate, whether it's in business or whether in relationships. Right. So I'm glad you had time to grow through that and y'all gave each other grace through that, because I'm sure you weren't perfect in that. I'd be like, God, when I get up and like, oof, I'm just learn shut up.
That was the learn to pick and choose your battles. That was what my mom advice early on. My mom gave that. She's like, you need to learn how to pick and choose your battles.
Sometimes y'all want to pick up the fight, and it's not that serious, y'all. This is interesting topic. Two nice guys finished last. Where is the civility in our society when it comes to both business and now we're talking about relationships? I've dropped the link if anybody wants to come up and chat a little bit about their opinion as to whether it pays to be rude. Does it pay to go hard into people's faces and make them uncomfortable so that you can get the outcome that you want? Is that the way you go ahead and do business? Or is it true, as the ladies have said, that civility in fact wins? Give me an example, guys. We'll talk a little bit more about relationships, but I want to read some of the comments, and I was going to ask you about examples where your civility kind of gave you an advantage as opposed to taking the low, what I call the low route, the harsher word, rude, curt, petty, whatever you want to call it, route. LearnBiz, Sandy B is, girl, you're going to be busy on these YouTube streets. Her other channel.
Oh, that's Lisa.
Oh, that's Lisa chiming in.
Hey, Lisa.
Uh-oh. Sandy got a partner over here on Civility Wins, the new book, as well as the new YouTube channel, as well as y'all check her out on LearnBiz, business channel where they interview entrepreneurs about their journey. I love their channel. You guys, I'm always team replay. I miss y'all in the day. But LearnBiz, the podcast, is another fantastic channel Sandy B is co-host of. So congratulations. This must be Lisa saying to Sandy and Kristen, upcoming book launch of the number one book, Civility Wins. So awesome. I'm proud of all of you for all you do. Appreciate you, sis. I was like, is Sandy in the chat too? As LearnBiz? See, that's what you got to ask. It's probably Lisa. I really appreciate that sisterhood, darling. Again, Civility Wins is now a YouTube channel as well, talking more about why, in fact, it pays to be nicer. It pays to not throw people under the bus. It pays
Yeah.
to show a person grace and maybe even cover a mistake when needed. Of course, we're attorneys. Sometimes we'd be like, I see the mistake. I can't wait to get to court. Like, just, that's a part of, I think, zealous advocacy. But we have this word in law school. We started learning it, zealous. How to be zealous advocates. Everybody wants us to be zealous. What does that mean to you, ladies? And is civility still a part of being zealous in terms of being an attorney who fights tooth and nail for their clients? Are they mutually exclusive to be civil and to be zealous, or can you be a zealous advocate and also be civil to another person?
I think, unfortunately, our profession has taken zealous to mean nasty.
Yeah.
And I find that in the same tone of people finding civility and nice to be pushover and, people walking all over you. It's not the same thing. You can be zealous, as in advocating at your best, at your highest level, to represent the needs of your client and to make sure that you do everything that you can to get the best result for your client. That's different than being threatening, bullying, attacking, saying certain things to try to get an advantage, trying to intimidate. Those are the things that I'm seeing as the interpretation of zealous. And even sometimes when you call people out on these behaviors, it's kind of like, well, I'm just representing my client. No, you're being nasty. And you need to learn what the difference is between zealous and what you're doing.
Good point. So people think zealous means you got to go low, that you got to be rough. And,
right.
The pictures on the South Florida highways of these people with like bulldogs turkeys next to like a pit bull or a Doberman, like, we'll be here, zealous advocate. I'm like, what kind of picture is this? But I guess it plays into the stereotype that many have of attorneys, that I don't want her. I want, like, people have told me, they were like, personal injury, your picture's too soft for that. I'm like, I'm gonna get their money regardless. So the idea that you have to have this tough guy exterior, we're gonna beat up everybody else, I laugh at it. But there are people that really live that out in the legal profession for sure, with their marketing, with how they deal with you in court and how they come. Oh my gosh, I've seen people, the song and the dance for the client. Sometimes I'm just like, you don't have to do this, sir. To lay down a briefcase, the judge asked them for like a piece of evidence, and they like basically spin the briefcase around and click it open. Your Honor, I'm like, what? I'm like, is this a play? Like, you didn't have the paperwork ready on your table because you knew the judge was going to ask for it? Like, it's so much stuff I see sometimes, and I'm like, is that for me or is that for the client that they are doing all of this for? It is, I think sometimes the mistaken conflation, right? Of I am zealous, therefore I have to be rude, stinking, nasty in order to get my points across. No, sir, that's not the same thing. Andrew says, have you ever watched Seinfeld, the episode where George kept on suppressing his anger, taking us back by saying serenity now? I don't remember it, but I remember like my mom watching it, and I remember that saying. Funny enough, he eventually snapped. I learned to show anger, but not to show my teeth. Okay. Understood.
I have to say the word serenity.
Serenity now? I like remember the saying, but I don't remember exactly the Seinfeld episode. But I used to love Seinfeld back in the day. But go ahead.
Yeah, the word serenity is one of my favorite ones. It's something that I turn to very much because I believe that you have to have that peace for yourself. And you can snap if you want to at people, but you have to know how to do it so that you're not affecting yourself. Because a lot of times we blow our top, we just lose it. But then we're left with high blood pressure, stressed out, headache,
in your body, in your mind, in your soul. Yeah.
And
the person, it's happening to the other person, but it's actually happening to you. You're getting old. You sit up there looking just like crazy, and you can tell who's also tightly wound. When you just look around the court, you're like, oh, okay, that one right there about to be a character. This one right here about to show up a whole, Superman. Hey, Ross L, already on the gift. Thank you. Peace to these three sisters. Appreciate you showing love. Thank you, first timer and already on the super chat showing love. Appreciate you, Roz L. Thank you for being here. Shout out to DL for introducing you to my platform. And thank you already again for showing love and support of what we're doing here. Again, deeper conversation, a little bit of intellectual chit chat tonight. And I'm sure all of you can relate. Team Replay, what's up? Hit the like button. Glad you're watching. And to those of you who are here with me live, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, Gaston's world. I saw you. How are you? Nice to see you. Gaston just did a show. Welcome back. I saw you the other day. And Jason, I think I'm too. Listen, sir, people will get the wrong impression. I'm now at the point where I'm like, do not cross it. And I know I'm not Southerner when it comes to that nice, nasty. Oh, I can set up an email. Oh, I can hurt your feelings, but it's the sweetest email. I not hurt to hurt, but hurt to put you back in your place for coming at me crazy. But I love a crafty email. I love a crafty email because it's not my initial response. But when I see people taking it there, I'm gonna hold up, bring it back. Because people, if you allow them, they'll start to think that they can get away with it. And I do agree with that point where it's not a matter of me being the initiator, and not even like I have to finish it, but I want to create the boundary. Like I see you've done this one time, and it should not come in my email box like this again. It really should not. So I don't threaten. I'm not a big, the judge will see this. No, I'm not on that. But I'll give you a word or two and you can read it and you'll know exactly what I mean. And I have no shame in that because people will go over the edge and cross that boundary if you're not careful or if you kind of allow them to push a little more, say something crazy on email. I don't even like email. I prefer the phone. Because I can kind of gauge a little better your tone, what you really mean by this. So if I see an email that's kind of funky, I'll call. And I'm like, okay. Let me first get the real interpretation and see what your intent was, and then we can go from there. But from my see, it's kind of like, you trying to show out? No, not today, not yesterday, not tomorrow. We're gonna have to bring. What do y'all think about nice, nasty? Am I violating the civility rule?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not. I use that all the time.
Do nice people finish last, y'all? We talking about it. Civility, is it dead? Do people have to be mean to get ahead in law, as we were talking, in business, in relationships? Is it dump you before you dump me? Is it be kind, be nice, open up, just be honest, but not necessarily rude and downright petty? We're seeing more of it, of course, as we talked about earlier, in pop culture, on social media. So people are thinking, oh, this is what everybody likes. Oh, this is what's going to make me viral. I'm just going to go crazy and go ham on I remember a video. I think the 3 ladies were arrested. This was up in New York at like a burger place, an upscale burger joint. And they had not given her or made her pay for sauce on her receipt, or the group of people I'm talking about went ham in the people's restaurant. I'm talking about tore up the restaurant. This was pretty viral. Some of you guys might have heard the story. And thank goodness they caught them. I was like, this is so terrible over sauce. Right. I'm talking about tore down the plexiglass, like COVID shield, like through ketchup, through like their ice machine. And this, I was like, what did this prove? How much did you gain besides your viral moment and now a jail sentence, your freedom? So it was fairly I know that's kind of an extreme example, but I'm always curious as to what is going through people's head and why would they do that? Hey, TTOO, showing support. I appreciate you being here. Yay, Quincy. Nice to see you. Nice to have you here on the chat. We're just talking about whether there is room for civility in today's society. Can you be nice and still get ahead? And thank you, Miss Sean Denise. Says, shout out to the chat, Suzette, Civility and the Law, with Sandy B. Law, Kristen Goss, co-authors of a new book that will be launched this Friday. So I wanted them to give me a sneak peek. I saw it on social media, actually, and I was like, hey, what's up with this? I didn't know you were writing a book. Let's go. And just talk about what happens in real life and how you handle it. So does the book give you... and Michonne Denise, first of all, you're doing such big things, girl. Congratulations. Her channel, Michonne Denise, gonna cut you though.
Hey, road to 10,000.
Miss Johnny's gonna tell these black women. Everybody got their lane. I love it though, and I love your grind above all. She gonna put her videos out, be consistent with her videos, and her message. So I respect that, Michonne, and I appreciate you being over here, showing love to the channel. And congrats. She's had several videos with like tens of thousands of views. So slowly but surely, she's much more on the pop social media, trending video side, and she gonna let you know how to get your life together. So a whole different genre of YouTube, but I have mad respect for you, sis, and keep doing your thing and keep shining brightly. So let's talk about your wins, guys, with this approach, because there are going to be people like, whatever, they're in the blue pill, as they call it. Kristen, you don't know what I'm talking about, but theirs is the rose-colored glasses. This is the, they think that princesses get married and get gold slippers, and princes come from frogs, whatever they think. I believe, even though I'm quite in touch with reality, but nonetheless, there are going to be people that push back. So can y'all give me, or what do you recommend in the book, or can you give me real life scenarios where you've utilized this and you actually did come up on top? And thank you again, Michonne.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have some perspectives in the book that highlight the fact that you have to know yourself. You have to be confident in who you are and what you're about. And you can't allow, for the circumstances that pop up in whatever scenarios you're in to dictate how you behave. You have to choose your path and your behavior, and allowing others to kind of seep into your mindset about the way that you live and the way that you operate. That's our downfall. So the way that civility wins is you maintaining your confidence in yourself and knowing who you are.
I hear you, sis. I was just trying to process in my head, like, why society has gone down this road, and like how everybody could be uplifted is that if everyone decided one day we're going to go back down the other road. Are there wins for you, my dear Miss Kristen?
Absolutely. So I wanted to briefly give a scenario of a trial that I did actually right before, I'd say a month before I had my last child last year. And needless to say, the other side was rolling their eyes, doing all kinds of shit during the trial. And of course, I didn't notice it at the time because I'm, focused on advocating for my client. After the trial, which actually got what my client was looking for and was told that I would not, and that was why we ended up going to trial in the first place.
So you won the trial.
Won the trial. And the client, after having a conversation with her, she's like, oh my gosh, the other side was just so unprofessional. So I found out about the rolling the eyes and the
afterward. You weren't paying no attention. You were like, yeah.
Yes. And so I will say this, people might not say it right away, but people observe. Yeah. And you have to be very careful with how you present yourself and what you say, what you do. So
it has a lasting
impact.
Not
be said. It might not be said right then and there, but people do recognize things.
Absolutely. I've had judges correct the other person. I actually hear in Miami. Like, I'm sorry, counselor, did you just roll your eyes at the other counselor's argument just now? I'm sorry, did you just let out a huff? Like, they'll call it out. And I'm glad when they do, because you can't. If you disagree with my argument, stand up there and listen to the argument. If it's so bad, the judge will hear it. You don't need antics. I thought that's what they taught in law school. You don't need the flailing of the arms, Your Honor, and the, oh my God. Stop it. It's childish. It's unprofessional. And I can't stand when I see it in court. But I love when there are actual judges that call it out and say, really? I'm sorry, counselor, did you just throw that paper? Do you want to go get it? And please refrain from doing it again in the future. And embarrass them. Not embarrass them for its sake, but correct the behavior. And I prefer when it comes from the judge. When you don't have to look over and be like, now see, we're not playing that game. And what it is, like you said, and thank God, Kristen, it didn't throw you off your game. You were focused, you were all right, but what they want is the reaction.
Yeah.
That's what I realized when people do this type of stuff. They want you to clap back. They want you to come out of character. They want you to get into your, okay, we going here. And I realized, I'm like, I don't want to give away my power. I see the play. I realize you losing. Because most of the times you losing when you're doing all this. And it is uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm going to try to stay focused, me and the judge or me and whoever at the, we could be at the Dollar Tree. Talk about incivility at the dollar store. Where you're like, ma'am, I know we're at the Dollar Tree, but we're going to have to do a little bit better. Wherever it is, you have to really know yourself. I think that point that you made, Sandy, was really well taken. And thank you for that example, Kristen. I'm going to drop the link one more time. And if you guys want to come up, ask questions, share stories, we appreciate you being here. I'm alongside 2 co-authors, and I want you guys to buy the book. So they have a book launch coming this Friday. We get in kind of like the insight before. Tell us about the book launch, by the way, ladies. What's going on for those in Miami?
Oh, Kristen. Oh, so the book launch is basically us starting our promo for the book, and we're going to be sharing some little inside scoop to what's going on with the book, when you can pretty much expect things to get rolling with pre-sales. And we're going to talk about our backgrounds in terms of why we decided to come together and put this project together, because, we're 2 completely different people. Kristen's married. I'm not. She has kids. I don't. But we both have a mutual appreciation for understanding who we are and trying to maneuver the legal profession the way that we want to. And I think one of the things that drew Kristen and I together, we both have natural hair, and that's always been a little piece of contention in the legal profession of what's professional in terms of your hair.
My Lord.
So we've had a lot of things that
legal contention for Black women.
Black women's hair. Yeah, let me stress that. So a lot of the perspectives in this book.
I don't think I haven't gone to court with this. But I know if I do go to court with this, I probably wouldn't wear it out. I would probably bun it nicely, bun, like nice and up as much close to the scalp as I can make it to give a more professional look. I would. How do you wear your hair? You just put your hair, you leave it out?
I used to bun it, but I just have a ponytail most of the time. So you can see, it's gotten long enough that you could see it. But back in the day when my locks were loose and they were shorter, my locks were out. Okay. Unless I have something in particular that I'm doing that I want to do like a little pinup. But I had that issue in law school as well. Some of my professors were like, is this how you're going to, wear your hair? And I'm like, you mean the hair that's coming out of my head?
You mean the way God made me grow it this way? Yeah. No, even this, because this is super long. I was thinking about like, ooh, how am I going to wear this if I have to go in? Yeah. And I was thinking about doing a little made up crochet. But yeah, so I like the fact that especially on this channel, we can see women in a different way. We're all lawyers. We love to laugh. We're, we don't take ourselves too seriously. And I think sometimes that stereotype that pervades holds us back and holds people back from even saying, y'all are pretty dope as people. Let me read the chat, guys. We have a few minutes more with the ladies. If you want to come up, last call on the link has been dropped. So come on up, talk to us. If you guys think we're full of woohoo and that if you're too nice, you're going to get run over and you'll never get ahead, okay, fine. But if you agree, even, I'd love to hear your conversation. Or your comments in our conversation. You do not have to come up and show your face. Just show me your face in the back. Hey, Ebony. Nice to see you. Ebony X in the building. Michelle says, I prefer text. I don't know. Again, there's so much that can get lost in translation. I try when I read things to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, that seems rude, but they couldn't have meant it like that. Like I try to say to myself, what is another way of reading this? What other tone could be applied, right? And then sometimes it gets them by, and other times I'm like, oh no, they did text me this. We got to deal with this. Link says, when the patois and the accent leak, oh, back up, listen.
Facts.
If you got to go there, we've took this time. No, if I have to reintroduce myself, it's time. If it's like, we better, I'm sorry. I'm Suzette. I'm here on this case. Are you also on this case? If I have to reintroduce, I'm giving you a 0. And I'm going to need you to come in 1, 2, 3, 4, and back up. I cannot stand if I'm in court and an opposing counsel coming in my face with the yelling. I didn't even check in yet, bro. So I'm going to need you to back up off of me. and we can start again. And it's going to be civil. I always try to set that tone because it doesn't matter. Like I give a good like mom eye contact stare. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Not the stare.
I'm sorry. I'm the attorney. I'm sorry. My client is waiting there. Did you want to speak to me before? Or you just want to go in front of the judge? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, I'll wait till you're done. Like I don't push that button. Don't push that button. It takes a lot of, I think sometimes people's egos or they're worked up. I mean, they're excited about what they think they're going to win. You're not going to win. But it like, again, especially, and I don't want to say it, but I'll say it, especially when they see that nice melanin and the different hairstyle, they think they're coming to teach you or put you in your place. Not everybody, but I've experienced that. That's part of my actual real life experience. So when I see it coming, especially if there's an age gap, you get the dead stare in your face. I'm sorry. You're speaking too fast. I'm sorry. Like I like you're gonna have to bring it down. You're gonna have to bring it down because I don't like when people come at you as if they're on a different, level. No, we're all barred attorneys. We got the same degree, same license. I'm good. But yeah, it can get kind of hairy depending on personalities. I saw you drop your link as well. RM has a channel. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind in the chat. Let me hurry up. Blah, 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 blah. Let me see. RM says, I just learned about the cut direct, 17th century high society aristocratic diss, where you stare someone in the face and pretend you don't know. I guess I do that. I didn't need them to tell me that, RM. They get to stare down regardless. I'd be like, I'm sorry. Were you talking to me? I'm like, no. I don't like it. Something tells me that Spices and sweet and wholesome demeanor is the side of her I would not want to see. I'm trying to see her good side. Listen, professional talk, if it comes out again, I want the outcome from who I am representing. So it is very uncomfortable, especially from like a client. If somebody's coming at you in a sideways, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get up when you're back to calm. I'll come back. They'll look at me. I'm sorry. And I give them a stare. And then I think, ladies, I said this before, femininity is our biggest tool. So when you come at me, especially with these older dudes, I'm like, I'm sorry, gentlemen. We're in a courtroom. I'll give you one of those. Yeah, calm down. Y'all laughing because y'all know it's true. Sometimes you get the worst people and then you can just bring them right back. Like, relax. I'm human just like you. All right. Yes, Civility Wins has a brand new YouTube channel. Y'all go check it out. Hey, Quincy. Saw you earlier. I feel like I need to start being mean behind closed doors like Kirk Franklin. Gaston. Y'all mad at cussing Christians. Y'all mad at the cussing Christians. Everybody
done.
A boiling point, y'all. Your hair looks lovely. Had to be. Oh, thank you, Quincy. Tobias, I haven't forgotten you. Tobias and I were supposed to do a collab. I went away on vacay. We're back. Tobias, we'll make it happen. September. Let's make something happen. I don't know if we'll keep the same topic or not, but definitely want you on the channel. Yes, old school femininity. That's what I saw. Check out RM's channel. I didn't know she had a channel. Please go subscribe. Her 1950s housewifery and retro sensibilities. I'm so proud of you. Keep it going, girl.
Yeah.
Natural beauties, feminine, natural bodies. Hello, shout out to those of us who try to hold it down.
I love her channel.
Visit RM's channel. Yeah, it is. Yes, she said come through legal.
Shout out to my Sean.
Yes, either way. It would be fitting for your face. All right. Thank you. I think it's the hair. Thank you so much. But I got to think again. I think about, and some people say that is the unspoken bias. I have to think about how others perceive me. I just can't be. I have to think about this judge. He's more conservative. We know the judges, ladies. Am I wrong?
True.
You know their temperament.
Yeah.
So this judge is more liberal. I don't have to put the hair up. This judge, again, they have to be the neutral referee, but they are also human. Right. So even those things are like implicit bias sometimes. We have to be aware of it. And we as people of color, especially Black people, we know it. We know I'm like, okay, I got to come this way today because I'm going to deal with that attorney or this attorney. So it's all part of the game. What people want is a reaction. Without a reaction, there's no satisfaction. I 100% agree with you. Walker, yep. AA Walker, yeah. Okay, thank you. This is my quote. I agree with it 100%, Andrew. Thank you. Y'all go over before y'all head out. Civility Wins for sure is the new channel. Phone going off. Sorry, Doug. Yeah, I don't play. It will get the mom stare. You're not gonna get no hi. I'm trying to talk over you. No. We don't play that. You will get the mom stare. Are we doing this for real? Or I'm sorry. Can you start again? I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name.
Not the mom stare.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name. I'm sorry. It was just a bunch of. I didn't hear anything you just said. Can we start again? Yeah, no, I don't let them just run their mouth and go crazy. So glad they can garner the world. Hello. Would you agree with this, ladies?
Absolutely.
Our what do they call it? Our super weapon, or what is it called? Our special power, or whatever, superpower.
Yeah.
That's it. Because I don't have to go hard like you, bro. I really.
True.
Let me see. Random stuff. Nice to see you. Says no need to be a nice guy. Be a good man who don't take crap. I like that. Well said, random stuff. I hear you. Just be good to people. Yeah. And again, in this world, we really have to stand up for ourselves because there's a lot of people that will try you, especially in our profession, ladies. I won't be the dead horse, but you got to know when and where. You don't want to react to every little thing. Don't want people to take you out of your character and your zone. I'm going to have the ladies give us their last comments on the book or on the book launch. I hope you guys are enjoying the conversation. Hit the like button. Is it easy? No, you know what? There have been studies that show that Black women on the bench give much longer and stiffer penalties than their counterparts. Did you guys know this? They give longer sentences in criminal court.
Wow.
So I don't know. If I had a criminal, I don't practice criminal law, but if I had a criminal case, I would want to change the I would be like, I don't know, Your Honor. I cannot reschedule this on a day that you're not. But I don't know. There have been studies that show this. So, have you been in front of Black women on the bench?
I've had a handful. I've had a handful, and all of my experiences with them have been amazing.
Okay.
Better than expected. I think my issue has been with our sister attorneys. We have a handful of us that don't know how to be together. Just have rude and bad behavior all around. And thankfully, I've found my tribe. But I've gone through some things.
So why do you think they like that? It's back to the civility. Why do you think they're going on like that?
It's not about us. It's about them. When you listen to their stories, you start to understand there are certain traits that pop up, certain upbringing issues, issues in relationships, issues with their family, maybe lack of family, lack of friends,
and low self-esteem, and feeling like they gotta prove you. I come to court nicely dressed. The red bottoms.
Okay.
That's not going to help you win a case, though. You know what I'm saying? I see it. Yeah. I don't go over the top. I wear my nice suit and I'm done.
Yeah.
But some of the people, when I see how they dress and I'm like, yikes.
Yeah, it's
more telling about them. You're absolutely right. And the attitude. And I'm trying to help you, sis. I seen you signed up on the wrong roster. I see you didn't check in for your case. I'm trying to tell you where to go check in.
Yeah.
But you want to give me attitude. And then it's like, oh, okay, thank you. Why are we fighting? We're not even on the same case. But yeah, it's a kind of defensive mechanism. Shout out to the CashAPP. Appreciate you. Jeremy, pick up yourself. Showing love on the CashAPP, supporting the stream. Yeah, it's interesting. People individually have hang-ups and idiosyncrasies. And you got to just remember, a lot of it is not about you. I've had, oh my gosh, the worst. I don't want to go too much more because I know we out of time, but yeah, I've had just run-ins with people. Speaking of other attorneys, where I'm kind of like, what was that about? We're not on the opposing sides. We're just passing each other, making copies in, the clerk's office or something, and there's something weirdness. And I'm kind of like, but I'm here with you, bro. I'm supposed to be here. Again, we are not a diverse profession, right? 5% nationally. We all in South Florida at that, because we know a lot of Black attorneys. I'm like, but do I know? I'm like, I know tons of Black attorneys here,
Yeah.
but nationwide, 2% are Black women, 3% are Black men, 5% nationally
Yeah.
of our whole like front line of the legal system. So people are not necessarily used to us. We are spoiled, ladies. Being in South Florida, we're spoiled because
True.
we see ourselves, and people expect us to be in that courtroom and respect that we're there. It's not so everywhere else. So
True.
yeah, I think we have sometimes residual of that kind of implicit bias sometimes. I don't know how y'all feel, but sometimes I'm like, y'all set the notification bell, please, on the channel. But yeah, sometimes we get those pushbacks where we're like, yeah, we're celebrating a book launch of these two ladies. We need pics. Y'all so funny. Not telling on anybody, but we know, trust me, we've all faced this kind of like implicit bias at times. I agree with you. I had a sister attorney and she didn't have it together. I had to help her.
Lord.
Random stuff for the win. Listen, there's so many things going on, and this struggle to prove oneself or to prove one's worthiness throws a lot of people off. You'd have a lot more friends. Help us all, God. You'd have a lot more relationships romantically. Help us all, because we're trying to prove for whatever reason, and we're trying to, again, it's not for us to unpack, but we get in these kind of like weird scenarios with you when we have to cross your path. So final thoughts from the ladies. I appreciate y'all making time for me tonight. I really enjoyed this discussion. Again, civility wins. Say the subtitle one more time, please, Sandy B.
Civility wins. Find your peace while taming the beast.
I need to find my peace while taming the beast. New book out this Friday. I'll go back and put the Amazon link in the description so you guys can support them. And I can't be at the book launch. I was thinking I could be, I was like, but I will purchase. I thought I could buy the book or be there with you guys, but I already have plans Friday. Busy bit, but busy bee. But final comments from the ladies. Sandy, we'll start with you.
Thank you so much, Suzette. Definitely appreciate the opportunity to speak on this topic. Civility wins. Find your peace while taming the beast. We're going to do our launch this Friday from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Going to give you some inside information on the book, where it came from, why we put it together, and definitely get you added to our mailing list. And please don't hesitate to check out our YouTube channel. It's called Civility Wins. Thank you, Suzette.
Yay. And Kristen.
Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity, Suzette. As Sandy B stated earlier, civility wins. Find your peace while taming your beast. The beast book launch this Friday. We will have a special guests that are coming on as well. And it will be moderated by our very own Bianca Moreras from Bianca Moreras Associates. So
nice. Yeah, love again, when lady lawyers unite, it's wonderful, right? And we got so much to offer one another when we let down our guard, our preconceived notions, our insecurities, right? And even sometimes those personality flaws. Praise God. I have some too. I'm not going to say it like it's just me or it's just you. We all do. So show that person grace who's having a bad day. Cover someone's mistake. Imagine that. And be gracious. That's the thing. You don't have to be rude to win. Look, Andrew's talking about, can he buy autographed copies? Y'all want autographed copies? That's what we doing now?
Just sign up, Andrew, to our link. You'll find it on our channel as well. We're going to be basically creating a mailing list. And once the actual copies are going to be out, you'll be able to be notified. But right now, you're going to be getting an inside scoop to what's going on with the book.
Awesome. Andrew always support. Let me tell you, every author
Thank you.
I bring up here, Andrew always support. And I have so many other people that get the books too. So everyone who's planning to order the Civility Wins book, thank you in advance. Check out their channel. Go subscribe. I hope you have enjoyed this edition, y'all. I'll be here Saturday. DL Saint. We're going to talk about the case for Andrew Tate. The YouTuber / I don't want to call him influencer, kickboxer. He was just banned from, y'all heard about this? He was just banned from Twitter. No, he'd been banned for Twitter. Banned from YouTube. Banned from Instagram. Banned from Facebook. The case for Andrew Tate, because he is a purported, based on all his videos, a self-proclaimed misogynist, and he says he's playing a character online. But these platforms said not on our pages, not on our platforms, because it has been deemed hate speech
What?
towards women. Yes. So Andrew Tate, social media accounts have been removed, and I don't know how you're gonna make money based on even some of the groups he had. It was as much as like $4 million a month, and he was
What?
paying folks to join his kind of inner circle on how to be a, y'all get me, please, my chat will correct me, a traditional, I think it's more than traditional. Some people might call it macho. Some people like,
Yeah.
he gave crypto and other business advice, as well as, how to be assertive as a man. But then there were times in which he had like a video that dropped where he was beating a woman, and then they said it was consensual play or whatever,
Okay.
and other things was going on, but he wasn't bashful. And then I've seen comments online like, everybody can't be a Kevin Samuels, everybody wants to do this this lane, and it's very interesting. And so he just issued a final message to viewers about his ban, but really big following. I think it's like his views or content with his hashtag were viewed, I forget how many billions of times. So,
Wow.
but TikTok, Insta, YouTube, and Facebook. And again, those are your main ways of getting to your audience. He can do what he wants now, but it has to be on his own platform.
You know what's interesting? I love how they want to do these types of things for this type of issue. But when we have all these other issues going on in the world, nobody wants to ban. Like, there was somebody that they should have banned that was leaving
That they
our country.
didn't. They
You never
didn't ban
banned
the
him.
real people that need to be banned, but they're
Man.
gonna ban him. Yes, random stuff. Yes, he was making $5 million per month off of YouTube, his auxiliary businesses, his marketing, whatever. And his like insider group had like maybe 80,000 people or something, and everybody paid like $50 a month or something like this. I'm probably getting the numbers wrong. Don't quote me. But I've been reading up, trying to prepare for Saturday. I won't be live Thursday, Friday, guys. I have so much on my plate the next 2 days, but definitely catch Saturday's live. Me, DL Saint will be on. Yes, they just trying to stop his cash flow. Says 40 Boom. Yes, Quincy says, I didn't know Andrew Tate was a half brother. Yeah, he is. His dad is black, from what I understand. So he's, I don't know, black.
Oh boy, let's don't get me started on that.
Bro, not the black.
Plus, but he live in Romania, but I don't know what's
I hope he had an email list.
Yeah. So yeah, there are people far, exactly. Yeah, BDSM kind of thing going on. He was a pimp for, I didn't know any of this. Y'all come chime in Saturday, 12 noon. DL and I have been talking about, I was like, DL, I don't know. You are the expert on who he is and why he got banned. So the case for why he should or should not, I really want to go over some of it. It's been very interesting. Every time I see a headline, that's why they say why competition is a good thing. Okay, y'all, last call. Go and follow, please. Now, please hit this link. Civility Wins. Join them for their book launch if you're here. But we're not going into Andrew Tate right now, y'all. We're going into but appreciate you guys. Thank you, ladies, again for joining me. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Suzette.
Thank you.